Daytime starts right now.
It is National Peanut Butter Lovers Month. Who knew there was a whole month for it? Fabulous celebrity historian Raffi Andonian is here. He is going to school us in all things nutty, including how America came to love peanut butter so darn much. And he's already eaten the peanuts. He's like a nutcracker at Christmas. And by the way, Raffi always dresses up for his segments, and he told me that was his peanut farmer costume.
Okay.
And I said, you just look like you're going to work in the office.
That's right.
But I like it, Raffi. It works for me. And by the way, he always makes learning fun, doesn't he?
He has so much knowledge. It is almost like you never want to play him in game night, ever.
No, in fact,
a bad idea.
We had this idea. We thought, you know what? Xavier and I, we should team up.
2 versus 1.
Yeah, and go against Raffi and trivia. And we thought, oh my gosh, we might still lose.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
So maybe we shouldn't do that.
For sure. Raffi's a wealth of knowledge.
Yes,
for sure.
he really is. Truly. He is not a good-looking guy, is he?
Well,
oh, this one is, though. Raffi Andonian is.
Oh, look at that.
And it's Peanut Butter Lovers Month. We are getting schooled on the nutty history behind America's favorite spread with our friend and celebrity historian, Raffi Andonian. We will join him.
Take it easy, Raffi.
After the break. You guys, there is an entire month that is dedicated solely to our nation's love of peanut butter, and I'm here for it today. Celebrity historian Raffi Andonian is here to break it all down for us, the nutty history behind peanuts and peanut butter.
Yeah, and
Thanks
even
for being
doing
here.
No Shave November now, like the sexiest man alive, I noticed earlier.
You got
like him,
robbed,
actually. Yeah,
Raffi,
like same hair.
again.
Yeah, same
I know,
hair. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, that's me.
You are actually going to shave with peanut butter here live on the show in just a few minutes.
Demonstration.
Don't go anywhere. Yes, he's doing it. Okay, where do we begin? Because Raffi, as X and I were mentioning, you have so much knowledge in your head. You don't even need a book or any prompts. Tell us about the history of peanuts and why we love them so much.
All right, so think about when you go to a restaurant, you go to a Thai restaurant or maybe an East African restaurant, you may have enough peanut, right? Or peanut, different peanut sauces and soups and things
Love
like that. Believe it or not, that's not where peanuts come from, or peanut butter. That's actually more recent historically, the last couple hundred years. Peanut butter or soupy peanuts go back thousands of years to the ancient Inca. And over in Brazil, there's records of thousands of years ago making kind of a soupy structure, soupy substance with the peanuts, okay? So they would kind of mash them, crush them, kind of have this like, porridge type dish, all right? But with colonial exchange across the Atlantic, after Columbus, then peanuts go back, they go across the Atlantic towards Europe, Africa, and Asia, and that's how you actually get it incorporated into, for example, Thai and Asian cuisine and African cuisine. But it originates here in the Americas, and then as the Europeans are coming across the Atlantic, they introduce it to the United States, believe it or not. So it kind of goes all over the world. That's the origin of the peanuts and how they get started up and how they get to kind of, become this global plant. In fact, in the United States, there's 1 billion pounds that we export.
It's a very happy peanut.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. And that represents right there, because we export 1 billion pounds a year of peanuts to the rest of the world from right here in the United States, believe it or not. Yeah.
And that, well, you're dressed as a peanut farmer, you said.
That's
today.
right, I am dressed like a peanut butter. Now,
do.
that reminds me of George Washington Carver. Now, he's the main reason that it's so popular here in the United States. It started originally with P.T. Barnum. You might know the circus guy who sold boiled peanuts.
Barnum and Bailey.
That's right, and that's part of the reason we kind of have special, peanuts at special events like ball games and gatherings. But really becomes a household staple with George Washington Carver, because what he does is he was known as a peanut man. So he takes these guys, the peanuts, and finds more than 100 uses of them. He was an agricultural scientist at Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, professor throughout the late 19th and early 20th century. And one of the things he promoted was using peanut butter as shaving cream. So we're going to test that out right here. So my No Shave November is about to go. It's going to go down the tubes here. No more No Shave November. We're going to see how this works. Now this actually makes sense. Think about it, because it has oil.
Do we have any
I got a
paper
mirror
towels?
right here. So let's see how this works.
I'll hold your mirror.
Oh, look at that. It's shaving me. Look at that. Right there. You see, now I need another razor, because they would have been using a straight razor. I'm using a cartridge. But look how it's smooth. I'm not cutting myself. And that oil on there really helps give that cushion that you need, just like you would with what we consider shaving cream. Look at the difference on this side And on this side, so you can kind of, if you want to give it a try,
Raffi,
you can try it on my face.
Give me one of those razors. I'm doing my leg. Do my leg next.
Now, that's part, so
to give you some
promoting
towels.
so many different ways of using the peanut and peanut butter, peanut soup with some colonial, if you go to founding fathers
I feel
like
like
recipes.
we should have shaved last.
That's all right. But if you look at colonial recipes, you find peanut soup. That was a form of eating it, but it kind of fell out of popularity, especially the way that we kind of think about it today. In fact, what happened after George Washington, there we go. What happened after George Washington Carver.
Thank you, Ed.
What happened after Carver made it more popular is that at the same time there was technology being developed that was able to make producing peanuts. There he is right there, Carver on your screen. That's him right there, George Washington Carver. And technology came out that made it easier to produce peanuts and peanut butter, and that helped spread the popularity. Now we'll add one more character to this, who's John Harvey Kellogg. You might know him from Kellogg's cereal.
I was going to say the cornflakes.
That's right. So around the same time, in the late 1890s, he creates peanut butter the way that's him right there, John Harvey Kellogg right there.
He needs to shave that stash with some
That's
peanut
right.
butter.
He needs to talk to George Washington Carver. They're contemporaries, actually, so it would make sense. Now, what he does is he introduces peanut butter as a health food. So it was seen as a premium food. So we think of it as kind of a cheap staple today. Yeah. At the time, in talking about early 20th century, 100 plus years ago, it became seen as a premium food. You know why?
Why?
Because of the fact that it was lacked animal fat. It has a protein, and you could use a meat grinder at home to grind the peanuts to produce your peanut butter.
Make
this is
it
before we
yourself.
have it. That's right. And so it became this big popular thing. Celebrity endorsements, including Amelia Earhart, were part of the endorsements that Kellogg got behind it. So think about like the health food craze. We think it's something new today, existed 100 plus years ago, and this was seen as premium food in that regard. Now, one more thing I would add to that is the technology of sliced bread in the 1920s. The Roaring 20s, there's a lot of innovation going on. And in the 1920s, you had the technology to slice up bread. And in that process, that allows for what we know as PB&Js, right? So all these things are happening at the same time with George Washington Carver, Kellogg promoting as a health food, and the technology to produce the peanuts faster and the bread to be able to produce as slices that allows us to be able to see, you're seeing the machinery right there. Yep. And that allows us to be able to have peanuts and peanut butter become way more popular than what it originally was and easier to distribute. And Texas right here has a role in that story, because throughout it all, in the early days, Texas had, like maybe a couple train carts that were exporting, like in the early 1900s. By the 1940s, they have 500,000 tons that they're exporting. Today, and in the decades since, always been in the top 5 of states in the United States producing peanuts. And what's really cool about that, part of the reason that George Washington Carver promoted peanuts was because in the post-Civil War South, he was trying to find an alternative plant to cotton. Because cotton was not particularly sustainable after the Civil War. And so what happened is that he succeeded, I would say, because the top 6 states that produce peanuts today are all in the South in the former Confederacy. So George Washington Carver's vision to replace cotton with peanuts actually worked out pretty well. That's part of the reason Texas has 130 counties that grow peanuts right here. So more than half the counties in Texas grow peanuts.
And about how many kids have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in their lunchbox today
and Texas
as they go to work?
plays a big role in that throughout the whole world. Now,
That's so cool.
Funny story for you real quick is there's a Nicaraguan immigrant on NPR who was asked, when did you feel that you became American? And he said, when I started to like peanut butter. This is the most amazing, most American of all snacks and treats.
Well, I love it, and we adore you, Raffi, and I don't know how you have all that knowledge just in one noggin there. We will let you continue shaving because I know you need to finish.
Keep going,
Getting the edges there. If you would like more on Raffi, he is the best, and you can find more on his website, celebrityhistorian.com. You can also find him on Instagram at @celebrity_historian. And we'll just go to break as you...
I got to finish off.
You just got to get that clean-shaven look.
No more No Shave November for me.
Well, and you need to be in the runnings for Sexiest Man.